Welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks for being here. It's great to see you all, as always. Happy Wednesday, and thanks for joining us. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with your host, Christopher Laprath. My name's Kenan. I'm going to do a quick introduction here with a personal story for you this evening. But first, a quick note for housekeeping. Anyone that's maybe joining us for the first time out there, make sure you say hi in the chat so we know you're here. That way we can do a reading for you. And of course, the first time is always free. After that, going forward, it's just $10 per reading. And then you can also do $100 for the whole month. And it's a little bit of a deal. It gets you a reading for every single show, which happens 3 times a week. Now, this evening, we've got a great show for you. The title is What Are You Defending? And a lot of us have these unconscious defense mechanisms that I started to talk a little bit about last time, how laughter can be a defense mechanism for some of these deeper feelings or more vulnerable feelings. But what I wanted to talk about was reprogramming some of this compulsive behavior, because what I noticed wasn't exactly the most helpful behavior that came out of me, and it certainly wasn't conscious. So these defense mechanisms, they exist to help keep us safe, or at least make us feel safe. So understanding that, it's also important to understand that we expand to the degree that we are able to cooperate with the whole. And I'll say that again because it's a powerful statement. We expand to the degree that we are able to cooperate with the whole. Now, the reverse is also true, and that's where my little personal story comes in. Not long ago, I was working at a convenience store here, just here at the corner where we live, 2018, so fairly recent, just before the pandemic hit. I got to the point in working there, like I was nearly 30, and I just got into a lot of negative self-talk, like knowing that I wasn't in an ideal situation in life, right? Like living with a parent, and I had just stopped working up in Sedona as well, so I felt like a little bit of this reduction come into my life, and I was questioning a lot of what I was doing. And as a result of that, like extreme self-doubt, I lost probably close to 40 pounds over the course of a month or two. And it was very brutal, very uncomfortable, and it was a visceral way of having to face some of those truths, which is, again, we expand as we are able to be in service to the whole. So as we turn away from that, a lot of times these, reductionistic things will come into life. In my case, it was that actual like hyperthyroidism where I dropped weight like that. But the solution is to focus on love. And when I say love here, I heard a definition that I really enjoyed that I'll share with you. It's consciously recognizing everything and everyone as the same fundamental energy, the same star stuff. We're all the same at the base level when you get down to it. And I love you is saying I see myself as you. And it's easy to work in service of the whole and the all, knowing that we're all part of it. And that's right in line with what we have to say tonight. And you'll really enjoy the rest of the program tonight with my dad, Chris Laprath. Here he is.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Kenan, that was an amazing open. Thank you. Great information. As always, I like the incense. Great blessings to you. to really open yourself up to loving yourself more and who you are. There's never been anyone else on the earth like you. There will never be anyone else on the earth like you. You are you. This incense goes out to you to help you move forward, move ahead, and love yourself. Here you go. So, I'll give you a scenario. So when I was, I don't know, teenager, I was living in Montana. We used to go hiking a lot. I didn't know what poison ivy looked like. So I was just like marching through it. And yeah, I got poison ivy. So if any of you ever have had that, or poison oak, you just take care of it. But the one thing you don't do is you don't start cursing all the green foliage and all the beautiful trees on the planet because you had a bad experience with one plant. Okay? I want to talk about this as far as humanity. When you watch, if you watch the news, if you watch politics, if you watch whatever it is, and you say something like, "What is wrong with people?" Guess what? You're a people. Or you curse humanity. It's like saying, "I hate all the trees, I hate all the plants," because you got poison ivy. You get my gist, right? So Kenan opened up with this great scenario, really something to think about, is, are you willing to give yourself permission, full permission, to be completely loved? Or are you going to say, I really only going to love red flowers because, I'm a red flower. I'm only going to love red flowers. Okay. Well, what about all the purple and yellow and orange? No, just red. Oh, okay. But it's very limiting and it can be very constricting. Now, I'm not talking about loving people's behaviors. You do not have to love people's behaviors. Their learned behavior, their projected behavior. I'm talking about who they are as a part of humanity. Okay, and you love that, who they are. They may not be doing very good with their lessons, but as one of my teachers told me, it's better to get it now, or you can get it later. But it's better to get it now. And what I mean by later, it could be this lifetime, it could be many lifetimes. It's just a matter of letting it go and really loving humanity. And what that is all about is really loving the humanity within you. And share this, excuse me, share this one thought is, if one is limiting their love as to where it goes or who it goes to, then you're limiting the love that can come into you. So it's a mechanism, it's a spiritual mechanism to tell you that if you're very limiting in the type of people that you love, you only love the red blooming rosy people, then you're limiting what is coming into you as far as love goes. So that's the group card for tonight. Is beautiful card. It's called the Heart of Source. And we've had this card before, but this is about always staying connected to Source Even when we're feeling we're not, we are. We're always connected to Source, even when we're not feeling it. And this helps us to stay connected to the heart of creation, which is us. Okay? That's what's so important about this. So, no matter what, are we giving ourselves permission to be loved? No matter what other people say, no matter what our triggers are, welcome those triggers. It's not about the other person. It's not about what they say or what they have said to us. This is about loving yourself, because then you can be using what they said about you that might be derogatory in limiting that love that you have for yourself. It doesn't matter what they said or what they believe. Hope that makes sense. So that's the group card. That's what this show is all about, is helping people stay connected, or at least be conscious that they're always connected to their source. Okay? All right, who's on first?
Laurel's on tonight.
Hey, Laurel. Okay. So I'm going to take you back, Laurel, to your Michael Jackson days. We are the world. We are the people. And you might want to look up this song, Laurel, that understand that you are an integral part of this world. Who you are, what you do. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. Okay. One of those Russian Easter eggs are worth millions upon millions of dollars. And there aren't thousands of them. Or one fine jewel. Girl, you are one fine jewel. Are you willing to accept that? And there's something with horses here. I don't know if you're going to go horseback riding, or you're going to meet a horse trainer. There's something coming up with horses for you. It's going to actually be very lucky. And did somebody give you a horseshoe? Anyway, there's this horseshoe coming through, and putting it above your door, it's to catch all the good luck and to remind you of how lucky you have actually been. So about 10 minutes before the show started, my phone went off and I got an alert. And there's a standoff. There's about 10 police cars about 400 feet down the street with law enforcement. Every medical, every car, every police car, FBI. There's basically a shooting standoff. Just then, I get a text from my teacher, and she calls me right then. Just as soon as I got that, she goes, "Don't go outside." I went, "Oh, okay." And then I told her, she goes, "I just had something really come up to go. Don't go outside." The reason I'm telling you this, Laurel, is you're always protected, and if it's not just being protected, it's about, are you willing to be open to more love, more finance, more everything? And I'm going to ask that question to every one of you on the show. Put that horseshoe above your place, right? You can look up the superstition of, it's not really a superstition, but whatever you want to call it, the putting up the horseshoe. above your door. It's about attracting luck, attracting opportunities, attracting circumstances. That's what's happening with you. Even if you go tour a horse ranch, I don't know what this is, but it's something with that. I'm going to need to call you on this one. There's somebody around you that is talking about horses. So that means they're on the other side and they loved horses. And that's how they want you to know that they're around. Okay. Hope that helped.
Thanks, Don Cox.
Hey, Don. You are the magician. You don't know how things are going to turn out. You just know they are. That way, it allows you freedom from controlling the universe, because when people try to control circumstances, people, situations, it is constricting. And the universe goes, okay, well, fine. I had another plan, but I guess if she wants to do it this way, whatever. And you miss the opportunity of it just all working out and flowing. Because we can be creatures of habit, where we go back and, are you willing to be free of the need to prove you're smart? Because every time when somebody has a need to prove that they're smart, and I'm not saying you are doing that, but anybody that has this need to prove that they're smart, or that they're connected to the divine or whatever, boom, fall flat on their face. That is absolutely let me shut my phone off here. I apologize. Anyway, for you, the divine has got this. Be free of worrying about the details. You've got a task force. Put them to work. Let them take care of the details. If you're a bride, you're not also cooking the food for the ceremony. You're not going to buy the flowers for the ceremony. You're not rolling out the carpet for the ceremony. You have a task force. They got this. This is you getting them. This is all of us coming into our own power. This is our magician abilities, magical abilities. Okay.
Yeah, next is John and Sonia.
Okay, John. It's the Seven of Wands. So I'm getting something with a laser here, like the kind that you play with cats with, the laser. When things get a little crooked, get a laser. They use lasers for alignment. This is you coming more and more into alignment, for instance, with yourself, but there's something. I'm going to call you on this one too. I don't know exactly what this is, but it has something to do with the laser. It's like even shining a laser up at the sky. Like we did in Sedona when we went to see the UFOs. This is So, you know, you don't remember when he said you don't point the laser right at the UFO, you point it around the area so that they don't feel threatened. This is when you see something, you don't have to hit it head on. You can kind of skirt around it and not worry about it. But point it out. You kind of point it out, but you do it in a very kind of roundabout way. You don't just point a laser at it. I don't know what this is, but I'll call you. Okay. And Sonia.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, my dear. Cut your losses. Focus on your gains. This is the Seven of Swords, and you can see this picture where he has swords, right? But he's leaving a bunch of swords on the ground. And these are, swords are symbolic of our thoughts. And we create our reality with our thoughts. These thoughts create they create the emotions. And they need to make it about something. Are you willing to just let that go? Like literally not crying over spilled milk. You know, you've had a restaurant for many years. And you've had little kids, I'm sure, come in and or even adults spill their wine, spill their milk. You don't kick them out. Go, no problem. These, where you're moving to is letting go of the past and just really moving into, this is that swordsman leaving his place of comfort and moving into a new place. And this is very symbolic of leaving not only the old place, but the thoughts that go along with that, or the memory, not the memories, but the regrets, the doubts, all of that. Good job. Good job. Okay, who's next?
Yeah, Marilyn Pitts.
Hey, Marilyn. Sorry, I'll be right back. The card fell on the floor.
Extra lucky.
Yeah, Kenan says extra lucky. So, when somebody's lying, because there's a big lion there, when somebody's lying, they're not doing anything to you, they're simply protecting themselves. Because they have a perception that they need to protect themselves for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that you need, you're this badass and people need to protect themselves from you. No. What I'm saying is, are you willing to be free of investing? Are you willing to be free of being invested that people get it? They got to get it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they need to have the lesson 3 or 4 or 5 times. Because they don't have the capacity to get it. It doesn't mean that they won't in the future have the capacity, but are you willing to let go of investing your time and energy to prove anything? And let go. And be willing to let go of expectations on. So we talked about the theme tonight. Do you give yourself permission to be loved? And also, do you give yourself permission to let go of how that love needs to be shown to you? Because some people actually don't have the capacity or even have the thought to buy somebody flowers or mow the lawn for them, or they don't. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. It's just that they are not there yet. Okay? So it's about letting go of expectations on anything or anyone, because who you are, you're growing stronger and stronger and stronger. And you hear about this all the time, that people that hated to run started running marathons, and they find out they really loved it, and how strong they were, and how much their endurance was. Your endurance, your adaptability. Give yourself some credit, Marilyn. You're doing amazing things, as are all of you. You're doing amazing things. This is the strength card. We have the strength, and the strength is being given to us as well. Okay.
You're a cat rebel.
Okay. Jared, it's called the Two of Pentacles. They're both great decisions. So you have a $100,000 diamond, and you have a $100,000 emerald. They're equally the same. Which one do you like? Which one feels good to you? Do you like the diamond? Does that feel good to you? Or the emerald? Which one do you like, resonate with the most? Go with your resonance. Go. Well, I was hurt by my sensitivity before, I'm just such a sensitive person. No. Are you willing to let go of the fear of being sensitive because of being hurt, or the fear of being hurt, or making the wrong decision because where you were punished in the past for making the wrong decision? Are you willing to let go of that now? You know what? I'm clearing all this energy tonight for all of you. Anywhere any of you have been punished for making a wrong decision, okay? No such animal, no such thing. It was a learning. I can actually feel that. Jared, are you willing to let that go? That frees you up to make any decision free of the fear of judgment. And that's what Kenan was talking about. This free of the fear of judgment. Okay, Kat. Money, 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 Kat. I love this card. Thank you for being here. Blessing every one of you with this money. This is a chest of emeralds, gold, diamonds. It's the 10 of Pentacles, right? Pentacles is money. And what money can buy. If any of you had been ingrained in any religion or any teaching that where maybe you've heard money is the root of all evil, no, it's the love of money. Well, then I shouldn't love money. Okay, what were we talking about is, do you give yourself permission to be loved and to love everything and everyone? Okay, well, money's used for war, yeah, but money is also used for beautiful mansions, beautiful travel to enhance your spirituality. And one of the masters said that if you want enlightenment, you need a lot of money. Now, if some of you take issue with that, there might be an issue there. Okay? Money is great, and this is welcoming it. Are we all willing to welcome in more money? The more, the better. And free of tying our self-worth up with how much money we have or we don't have. Okay. Thank you, Kat, for being here and pulling this card. You might also look at the power of looking up emerald, the emerald stone, and getting yourself an emerald. Okay, who's next?
It's Doreen.
Hey, Doreen. I know you're driving, so drive careful. Downtime, Doreen. Home time. What you're doing with your cooking and your chef is you're teaching people to enhance their home. And it's not just their house, Doreen. It's their home. And when you go into that, you don't have to tell people you're doing that. They will sense it. They will sense you're caring. They will be drawn to you. And this is you see all the cups around here. This is the emotional fulfillment, but it's also financial fulfillment where more and more is going to be coming into you. But focus on knowing in yourself that you're giving people a better home cooking. And I've told you this story before where the Rinpoches, the holiest people in the country, in the world, they're the most careful picking the people that work for them, and it's their chefs. They're the most careful with the chefs because those chefs put energy into that food. Okay? So you're teaching people how to cook, but you're really teaching people how to put this great energy into the food. Okay.
Nice. Diane's up.
Okay, Diney, here we go. Okay, big bowl of salt under your bed. Salt, like holy water, is comprised of salt and water, and among other things. But a bowl of salt under your bed helps keep lower energies away. Get yourself some selenite. But this is the you're being visited at night. So before you go to bed at night, tell your angels, your guides, in no uncertain terms, nothing and no one comes into this room unless it's for my best and highest good. The salt under your bed is a very high vibration. It keeps the lower vibrations away. And this will also help to improve your dreams and your thoughts. Okay? Very important. And who'll be next?
Nice. It's Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay. So, Lindsay, here in Phoenix, they have this place called the Wrigley Mansion. The guy that made the Wrigley gum, right? Juicy fruit and all that. Anyway, it's a mansion up on a hill, and they've turned it into like a restaurant. I don't go there because it's really haunted. But anyway, my point is there a place where you live, and it feels like it feels like Park City, or not quite there, Sundance. You know where Sundance is? I'm not sure what city that is near where you live, but it feels like this place, almost like a castle, but it's up in higher elevation. For some reason, you're needing a higher elevation. So even going there this weekend, even going there for a meal, it's like pampering yourself. This card is about the Queen of Swords, and it's about treating yourself. Treating yourself. So the whole spa, is important for you. Yeah, so I don't know what this place is, but it's like a resort, kind of like a resort. But it has like a spa and like restaurant, and it just, it does, you don't have to go halfway across the world for that vacation, but this is like a local getaway where it'll give you the weekend and just a few days off, okay? You have an amazing ability to recoup. You just need a little bit of downtime and boom, you're back. Give yourself some downtime. Okay, who's next? Austin's up. Okay, Austin, taking Lindsay to the mountains. That might be really cool. So, okay, are you... So I told this story the other night about this woman that came to me, and I told her that her daughter actually did pass her master's test. Do you remember that story? Anyway, the woman went back, told her daughter to go back to her teachers because she didn't say, well, tell your teachers that the psychic said that they were wrong. She didn't say that. But the daughter did take her exam back. They did regrade it, and they saw where they'd made a mistake. And she did pass. So this is in relationships. One of my teachers told me that in Hawaii, like the Hawaiian word for grapes is like thoughts. So when we have a new experience, and this is the clump of grapes up here, these are our thoughts and these are our experiences, and we have a new experience, we try to where on the clump does this go? Oh, well, okay, it's similar. Okay, I guess it's similar to this experience up here. This is starting over in relationships and not cutting those ties to any previous relationships that didn't work out, and releasing any fear and I'm not talking about conscious fear. The cards are always talking about what might be running our program, what we're not aware of. This show is called Seeing the Unseen. So this is something about repairing any of that hurt from previous relationships in order to help you move forward. And that's what this heart is about. Okay. Yeah.
Hannah De La Vega is on.
Hey, Hannah. Nice to have you. Thank you for being here.
And Teresa just popped on too.
Okay. Hannah, everybody welcome Hannah. First time on the show. Amazing person. So Hannah, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and B1 Traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to like where it bent in the undergrowth. Then I took the other, just as fair. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I I took the one less traveled by. That has made all the difference. Are you willing to release the fear of making the wrong decision? I watched a video the other day about this gal who they said she was an influencer. And so this company reached out to her and paid her way to Florida, first class, and to bring a girlfriend. Well, she decided to bring her boyfriend. Anyway, they got there and a limo picked him up. But when the driver saw that she was with a guy, he drove off. He hightailed it out of there, and it was a sex trafficking. But she was protected. Okay, and so she was devastated over the experience, but that experience that she was able to tell in the news and on social media was a protection for other people. So even though a situation at the time may seem awful, there's a reason for it, and there's a lesson here. You are always guided. When you look at this card, there's this person standing, and they have a decision to make down one road or the other. Are you willing to let go of the fear of making the wrong decision? Because when you have the fear of making the wrong decision, the universe goes, oh, okay, well, I guess she wants to be in more fear of making the wrong decision. So, yeah, the universe creates that. Remember that story about the guy that goes to a Chinese restaurant? I know, because I lived in China. Couldn't speak the language, couldn't read the menu, but they bring a menu with all the pictures on it. And if the waiter comes back to take your order and you're pointing at all the pictures of the food that you don't want, the waiter's going to bring you the food you don't want. Right? You got to point at the food you do want. So when you're having a decision, point at how you want to feel. But if you're pointing at the picture of, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to make the wrong decision, the waiter, the universe is your waiter, is going to give you a reason to continue to fear making the wrong decision. I hope that made sense, but I'll call you afterwards. Okay.
Awesome. It's Teresa Mullen.
Hey, Teresa. Yay. Just because there's clouds do not destroy or eat stars. They just don't. Just because there's clouds, you wait for the clouds to clear, and the North Star is always there. So any fog, any mental fog, any physical tiredness, take care of that. Those clouds are going to pass. You're going to see the stars again. Okay? And know that the circumstances at present aren't going to devour the stars. It's not going to make you lose your way, lose your purpose. You're just going through a period of time where there's a few clouds. They're going to clear. You got it, girl. You got it. Okay.
So Lori, Mag 2 Miracles, didn't say anything.
Hey, Lori. I know you're there. I'll pull a card for you. Okay, Ace of Swords. You're smart. A sword is defensive or offensive. You can really use it to your intelligence. You can use it to cut through things to your benefit, right? Like think of a machete going through the jungle. It's creating a new path. Or you can use it to cut yourself to pieces. Are you willing to let go of cutting yourself or other people to pieces? Kenan told me many years ago, and it's always stuck with me, sarcasm means to tear apart. So when you're sarcastic to someone or about someone, you're tearing them apart. So this is, you have the power to bring it all together. Positive words, positive thoughts about yourself and about the circumstances or other people. I had a client, they moved to 3 different cities. They used to live here in Phoenix, and they'd say, I really hate the people in Phoenix. I've just got to get out of here, and I'm going to go to New York. Okay. A year later, I called him, how do you love New York? Oh, I hate the people here. They're horrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm moving to Florida. The last I heard from them, they were in like Orlando, and guess what? They really hate the people there too. They're continually creating their reality. This is your opportunity to cut through all of that underbrush. Okay? You're doing great.
Nice. I think that's everybody.
That's everybody?
I think so.
Okay. If you guys have any questions, Hannah will call you. Text me if I said I was going to call you. It just kind of comes through me, and I love you all. I know you understand. I appreciate you. And we're going to do this again Sunday night. So great blessings to all of you. Have a wonderful week. Take care.